Unmuted.
This meeting of the City of Socorro Board of Adjustments is set to begin. First and foremost, we would like to thank everyone and ask for your patience during this difficult time we have been presented with. Everyone, please remember to silence any electronics to avoid sound interruption. No disruptive behavior or outbursts will be tolerated, and violators are subject to call disconnection and possible prosecution. In accordance with Section 418.016 of the Texas Government Code and by order of the Office of the Governor issued March 16, 2020, the City of Socorro Board of Adjustments will broadcast the meeting scheduled today, Thursday, January 28, 2021, at 6 p.m. from City Hall Chambers located at 860 Rio Risto Road, Socorro, Texas, via telephone conference and live stream in order to advance the public health goal and practice social distancing to slow the spread of the coronavirus, also known as COVID 19. The public that signed up and any presenters will be called upon by the presiding officer during the meeting to speak during the public comment or their agenda item during the meeting following Government Code 551.042. La Junta de Ajustes de la Ciudad de Socorro está por empezar. Primeramente, queremos darle las gracias y pedimos su paciencia durante estos momentos críticos que enfrentamos. Les pedimos que pongan en silencio todo equipo electrónico para evitar interrupción de sonido. No se va a tolerar ningún tipo de comportamiento perjudicial o revoltoso. A quien no siga estas reglas, su llamada será desconectada y puede ser infraccionado. De acuerdo con sección 418.016 del Código del Gobierno de Texas y por orden de la Oficina del Gobernador, anunciada el 16 de marzo del 2020, la Junta de Ajustes de la Ciudad de Socorro transmitirá la reunión hoy, jueves 28 de enero del 2021, a las 6 de la tarde desde la sala de concilio ubicadas en 860 Rio Vista Road, Socorro, Texas, por medio de por medio de conferencia telefónica y será transmitida en vivo para avanzar en el objetivo de salud pública y practicar el distanciamiento social para tomar medidas preventivas para prevenir la propagación del coronavirus conocida como COVID-19 a los demás y por la seguridad del público. El público y los presentadores serán anunciados por el oficial conduciendo la reunión para poder hablar durante la sección de comentario público o después de la discusión del artículo de la agenda por cual se apuntaron, siguiendo las reglas del gobierno 551.042.
Mr. Trujillo, you want to call to order?
Yes, before anything else, Joe, I want to ask the board members for a moment of silence in honor of Mr. Rudy Cruz. We lost him in the month of October. Due to this virus, okay, it's 6:16. This meeting is now called to order. Ms. Lady Secretary, can you establish a quorum, please? Call out the names of the board members.
Item number 2, establishment of quorum. Ben Arras. Mr.
Present.
Arras. Mr. Shires.
Here.
Mr. Oropesa.
Here.
Mr. Dominguez.
Here.
Mr. Renteria.
Here.
Mr. Trujillo.
I'm here.
We have a quorum with 6 members present. There is nobody to excuse today. Moving on item number 4, reading of the Board of Adjustment statement.
The Board of Adjustments of the City of Socorro is now in session. This board is established under Article 211.008 of the Local Government Code to permit the correction of inequalities in the application of the zoning ordinance according to specific legal rules. Your application will decide only after you have had the chance to present evidence before the board for its consideration. Other parties interested in your case may also be heard at this time. No consultation among board members has been held in advance regarding your case. This board does not act in an arbitrary manner. You may feel that this application of the zoning ordinance to your situation will result in hardship to you, but this does not necessarily mean that this board has the power to grant you relief unless the facts of your case are such that the board must act on them. You may be sure full consideration will be given your case, and following this hearing, you will promptly notify of the board's decision.
Item number 5, swearing of all persons giving testimony.
There any people out there that is gonna give on testimony, Mr. Secretary?
It's Erika Garcia.
Yes. Yes.
Ms. Garcia, we will be asking you to provide a statement or just waiting for Mr. Trujillo to provide that for you. Give me 1 second.
Thank you.
Swear, do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Item number 6, consider and take action. On the approval of meetings minutes of September 24, 2020. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of September the 24th, 2020.
Do I have a second?
I second that motion.
I have a motion to approve made by Mr. Trujillo and seconded by Mr. Renteria. Now may I have your vote, please? Mr. Arras,
Yes.
Mr. Shires,
Yes.
Mr. Oropesa,
Yes.
Mr. Dominguez,
Yes.
Mr. Renteria,
Yes.
and Mr. Trujillo. Motion carries with 6 members in favor. Item number 7, on the proposed variance request to Ordinance 76, Amendment 1A, Section 8.4 EA, related to the minimum required rear yard setback for Lot 1, Block 18, Jardín de Flores, Unit 1, at 11600 Flor Achilea, to reduce the required rear setback for an existing building. Do I have a motion? I'm sorry.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. This is Job with the Planning and Zoning Department. This application, they're asking for a variance to an existing building. So what happened here, this property is, I'm gonna show you the location of This property is in Jardín de Flores subdivision. It's right off of Passmore, next to Jardín de Flores Park. You don't see the buildings on the screen because this is an older image. Here it is. So there's a house that was built in the corner, and in the back of the property, this is the one off of Flor Margarita. They built a storage room. This property is located about 1,800 feet south of Passmore. It has approximately 5,971 square feet, and it's owned by Erika Garcia. According to the El Paso Central Appraisal District, and our records indicate that this building, the main dwelling, was built in 2019, the house. What happened is the accessory building in the back was built without a permit, and it was built on the required setbacks. Recently, City Council approved an amendment to certain setbacks on residential properties. It allowed a closer distance to the setbacks. I'm talking about Ordinance 499. The only problem is that this ordinance only allowed zoning that is already in the Muni Code for the accessory buildings to be built closer to the rear of the property. However, this property is zoned as R3, which did not benefit from this ordinance. Under the R3, they're still supposed to have a 10-foot separation from the rear. We went out to the property to measure the little building there. It has 9 feet on the back, but from this corner here, it has 2 feet, 10 inches. The other violation is that there is a requirement for the clear sight triangle. The building does not impede visibility as it stands, but it is built within the clear sight triangle. So this request for this variance was considered to be contrary to the public interest. It's not for the public benefit, but for the benefit of a particular resident. And it's not considered that it will be an unnecessary hardship because it's not a dwelling, it's a storage room. If this variance is not approved, the owner will have to demolish the building and maybe build something smaller and probably on the opposite corner that will be within the required setbacks for this property. Also keep in mind that there's a limitation on the rear yard. Just because it's an R3, they have a limited amount of space. However, on point number 3 that we observed is that the spirit of the ordinance is not observed. The Planning and Zoning Department recommends denial. But however, as an alternative, if this board decides to grant the variance and they're allowed to keep the storage room, they're gonna have to provide a certification of the building because it was not inspected. I am gonna show you some pictures of the room. That was built. There it is. And like I said, they have 9 feet from this corner to the back. There's 9 feet. But on the other side, there's only 2 feet, 10 inches from the rock wall line, which is the property line. And then on the other end, we measured 5 feet, 6 inches, which is okay. The only problem is in the back and the corner where the curve is located. I don't know if you have any questions.
The planning and zoning recommended a denial for this uh, item?
Yes, that's the recommendation based on the 3 points that we have to evaluate to make sure that they're not breaking the law. Like I said, this is not it's contrary to the public interest. They're not following the spirit of the ordinance, and literal enforcement will not result in unnecessary hardship. Those are the 3 reasons why the Planning and Zoning Department considers it should be denied. And also to let you know, Erica Garcia is on the line. If you have any questions for the applicant, she's here to answer any questions you might have.
I actually have a question for her on the submitting or getting a permit. Ms. Garcia, any reason why that wasn't done?
We did not build the storage. We had just a random person build the unit, and we were informed by them that because it did not, or it was not gonna have electricity nor plumbing, we did not need a permit. Or else, I would have obtained a permit to build the storage.
I have another one. It looks like it was a big investment, huh? How much you put a lot of money
I'm
into
sorry,
that?
sir. I'm sorry, what was your question?
How much? It looks like a big project. Like how much is like the investment? How much money did you put into this? Because right now, if we do deny it, you're gonna have to demolish it, right?
Well, yes, we would have to demolish it if it's denied. I mean, we wouldn't have a place to put our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that our backyard is not big enough. It's a small backyard, and we wouldn't have a place to put our stuff. We would have to purchase a one of those built-in units, and we would have to figure out where to put it.
This time I'm gonna have to make a motion for denial. I don't see why people don't understand that Socorro is a city and they need permits for any construction that they're gonna build. And you know, Joe, if we approve this, we approve one, we're gonna have to approve the following also. So I make a motion to deny.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion made by Mr. Trujillo to deny, seconded by Mr. Renteria. May I take your vote now, please? Mr. Arras?
Yes.
Mr. Shires?
Yes. Next, when you're gonna make a big investment like that, I would look first for any permits that are needed. Yeah, I'm gonna say yes.
Mr. Oropesa?
Yes.
Mr. Dominguez?
Yes.
Mr. Renteria?
Yes.
Motion carried. Item number 8, discussion and action on the bylaws of the Board of Adjustment.
The reason, good afternoon, Commissioners. The reason the bylaws are in the agenda is because according to the bylaws, you're supposed to review them on the first meeting of the year. And I don't know if you had a chance, we sent you the bylaws about 3 weeks ago. If you want to make any changes or keep them as they are or change any of the language in them, that's the reason why they're in the agenda. I don't know if you want to review them or keep them as they are.
Nothing has been changed on these bylaws as of now, right, Joe?
Well, the only thing we're gonna need to change would be on page 505, and that's gonna be the officers that are there. the chairperson, the vice chair, and the secretary. And on item number 9 in the agenda, we have the election of officers. If you want to keep the same people, however, Cynthia Gutierrez is no longer in the board, and of course, the secretary is going to have to be updated to reflect the existing secretary. Other than that, I don't know if you had a chance to review the bylaws. Everything should, I don't know if you want to keep it the way it is.
Joe, is Ms. Garcia still on the line?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question.
Is Ms. Garcia still on the line?
Yes.
You want to just inform her, you let her know on the letter she'll get?
Yes, Ms. Garcia, you're gonna get a letter tomorrow from our department showing you the result of tonight's meeting.
Okay. So am I able to disconnect?
Yes, you can disconnect now if you want.
Okay, so then until tomorrow when I receive the letter, I will get notified whether or not I need to demolish my building?
Yes, we'll give you further
correct?
instructions tomorrow. Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Thank you. Have a good evening, everybody.
Thank you.
Same to you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
So if you want to keep the bylaws, I don't know if anybody wants to make a motion to approve them as they are, or if you want to amend them or change them or do something. I don't think nothing has changed.
I'm going to make a motion to leave the bylaws as they are. There is no point on making changes on them unless one of the other board members has a different opinion on it.
Second that motion.
I'm sorry, who made a motion? The second?
I did, David.
Thank you. I have a motion to approve by Mr. Trujillo and seconded by Mr. Oropesa. Item number 9. Now I'm going to take your vote, sir. Mr. Arras,
Yes.
Mr. Shaides,
Yes.
Mr. Oropesa,
Yes.
Mr. Dominguez,
Yes.
Mr. Renteria.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Item number 9, consider and take action on the election of the officers.
On this item, according to the bylaws, we're supposed to have a chair, a vice chair, and a chair pro tem. So I don't know if you want to appoint or anybody else, or you want to keep Mr. Trujillo as a chair. We don't have a vice chair, so you're gonna have to select somebody, and a chair pro tem.
Just keep Mr. Trujillo for chair.
Thank you.
If he smiles, I'll vote to keep him. There you go.
Take it.
Do you want to appoint anybody as a vice chair?
Is it like a vote?
Yes, the board
Yes.
has to select somebody who you would like to have as a vice chair in case Mr. Trujillo cannot attend a meeting. The vice chair would be acting as the chairperson.
Well, I'll vote for Mr. Renteria.
I was gonna vote for you, David.
I beat you to it.
I second that.
Both of you are quite interesting people. I wouldn't mind having any one of you as a chairperson. You both are very smart people.
I'll be honored.
And the third one we need to appoint, or you need to appoint, is the chair pro tem. In case the chair and the vice chair cannot attend the meeting, the chair pro tem would be the acting chairperson.
How about Mr. Oropesa?
I'll second that.
I have a motion to appoint Mr. Trujillo as the chairman, seconded by Mr. Renteria. And vice chair, Mr. Robert Renteria, and chair pro tem, Mr. Oropesa. May I take your vote? Mr. Arras,
Yes.
Mr. Shaides,
Yes.
Mr. Oropesa,
Yes.
Mr. Dominguez,
Yes.
Mr. Renteria, Mr. Renteria,
Yes.
motion carries. Item number 10, adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I second that.
I have a motion made by Mr. Trujillo to adjourn, seconded by Mr. Renteria. Now may I take your vote, please? Mr. Arras,
Yes.
Mr. Shaides,
Yes.
Mr. Oropesa,
Yes.
Mr. Dominguez,
Yes.
Mr. Renteria,
Yes.
meeting is adjourned at 6:39 p.m.
Thank you, commissioners. Have a good night.
Thank you.
God
Right.
bless you all.
Be safe, everyone.